Have you ever prayed and heaven felt quiet? You're doing everything right, but God says nothing. What if his silence isn't distance, but divine preparation? In this episode and throughout this series, we explore how to worship when God is silent, how to trust when you feel hidden, and how to hear his voice in the stillness. This silence may be sacred. Stay with me. Have you ever waited for something so long that you forgot you were waiting for it? You've been in the wilderness so long, my friend, that you've forgotten that there's a promise in the distance. But I'm here to remind you, the scripture says, after waiting patiently, Abraham received what was promised. Hebrews 6:15. Now, some of us are waiting for our Abrahamic moments. Some of us have been waiting a season, a few months, a year, maybe even longer. And you look back over your journey, and you see the path that the Lord has led you down. And you can almost see your promised land in the distance, but you haven't gotten there yet. And so you're tempted to think, is this journey worth it? Will I ever get there? What if I've been called the wrong way? What if this isn't the right path? You begin to question and doubt and fear because you've been waiting so long. I want to encourage you today to remember, God is not late. He's not unfaithful. He is not moved by pity, but doesn't change his mind based on how you feel or what you do. He is who he says he is. He will bring you to where he said he would. You have to choose to believe in the quiet moments when you're doubting. You have to choose to trust in the seasons of waiting. So what do we do in the wait? How do we live in the in-between season? Well, I want to share with you what the scripture says. Paul and Silas, they were imprisoned. They were falsely accused. They were beaten. They were put in a prison cell. And the scripture says there was no light in the prison, and they were thrown into a dungeon, and their feet were put in stocks. And at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Now, what a crazy place to be worshiping, right? In a prison cell. It sounds like such a dark place. There was no light. There was no timeline. There was no freedom. But what did they do? They sang. They worshiped. And you know what happened? The Bible says, suddenly there was a great earthquake, and the foundations of the prison were shaken. Immediately the doors of the prison were opened, and everyone's chains were loosed. Isn't that amazing? They were set free. Do you see what happened? They worshiped in the wait. You see, sometimes in the wait, we forget to worship. We focus more on the problem, on the situation, on how we feel, on what we're lacking, on the need that isn't met. And we forget that God is still on the throne. And when we worship, when we focus our attention not on the problem, but on the one who can solve the problem, the one who is bigger than the problem, guess what happens? The problem begins to shrink, and you begin to experience what you've been waiting for. Worship shakes walls. Doesn't matter if it's physical walls or emotional walls or spiritual walls or mental walls. When you worship, you shake those walls, and the foundations of your situation begin to shift. So many times you and I are waiting on an answer. You're waiting for a miracle. You're waiting for healing. You're waiting for deliverance. You're waiting for provision. You're waiting for peace. You're waiting for joy. You're waiting for love. You're waiting for people to come around. You're waiting for the perfect timing. But instead of living in the wait, instead of focusing on the wait, I challenge you to live in worship. Don't wait to be healed to praise. Don't wait to be delivered to sing. Don't wait for the answer to start dancing. Don't wait for the dream to come true to begin to believe. Worship is not a reaction to the outcome. It's a declaration of trust before the outcome. It's a statement of faith. It's a song in the night. It's a praise in the pain. It's a prayer in the waiting. So I want to encourage you to do 3 things. Number 1, don't stop believing. God is not late. He is not unfaithful. Don't stop trusting him. Number 2, don't stop praising. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Worship him in the moment you find yourself in. And number 3, don't stop praying. Keep your petitions before the Lord. Keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking. And I promise you this, when you do these 3 things, you will receive what you're waiting for. The scripture says so. And I'm here to tell you, don't give up, don't give in. God is working. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but God is working. You're going to get through this season. You're going to get to your promised land. Just keep your eyes on Jesus.